thing you
said,
said.
what inspired the book?
Okay. I decided I'm a good literature student, to say that's one. And one of the first poems I wrote was for my mom on her 50th birthday. And
Mm,
on her 50th birthday, and from I think that I was in SS2, SS3 at that particular time. And from there, I just decided to start learning how to write, listening to the likes of William Shakespeare, um, Rumi, and the likes. So one of the things that cultivate is to write, learning how to do it all in one.
okay.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, I guess you might. We hope that the network stabilizes as we go on because I couldn't piece your words together. But what I heard you say was that you started off by writing poems for your mom, and then you developed the desire to write
Yes,
poems, and then started listening to William Shakespeare. Is that what you said?
yes. That was exactly what I said.
Okay. What is love to you?
Love, like when I tell a lot of people, and when they see the book, when I started writing the poems and the work, it came a time in my
Mhm.
SS3, I decided I will stop writing about love, like love, what's it all about. So I tried switching to government, politics, writing poems in that regard, and I just hooked, and I couldn't after one stanza I
Mm,
couldn't go anywhere again. So my
mm.
friend then just said, Israel, just stick to where you are good at. And I feel the reason why I was good at this was because I grew up in a family where love was an excess supply to all of us. So it was my
Oh
definition
wow!
of love was
Tell me
my
about, yeah.
yeah, tell
Tell
you
me
about.
about that excess supply of love. Yes, the excess supply of
Yeah,
love.
yeah. Why growing up, although a family of seven children, I'm the sixth out of the seven. And
Mm.
you see that every single time, every single celebration, every single minor or major celebration or event in the house, our parents made it a criteria that everybody must celebrate and everybody must be involved. So I can remember when I was young, although my dad was very busy with politics and with other activities as a medical doctor, he still found time every single time to always celebrate moments, big and small moments with us, with my mom as well. And that's why, like I said, my first poem was about my mom. It was all about family and stuff.
Okay. Okay. So I see
Yes.
where that the desire to write about love emanated from. Your book has different parts, and you wrote love on different things. And I'm going to read out maybe one of the stanzas of of just selected chapters, and then you tell me what came to mind there. So he said, what is
All right.
love? If love exists, I am yearning for love. If love exists, I crave for love till eternity. If love truly exists, I shall search till death and beyond death. What was on your mind when you wrote that?
It was in secondary school when I wrote that. Right? I think I was in SS3 that period. And when my friends or when people read this particular line, they'll especially be like, no, Israel, this must be for somebody. There's no way
Mm,
that you're telling me that you didn't write this. And I'll be like, no, it's not for somebody. I just sat down and some of these lines I just listened to a song, picked it, and just walked and I wrote something about it. And I think that was majorly most of, especially poems that with two people, right? I love listening to music, especially love songs, right? And I'll just listen to a line or like two, three lines, and from there I can get a piece. I can get a piece of my work from. So yeah.
Okay. Okay then. And when you talk about retired love, you talk about
Yeah.
retired love. What what's on your mind? What was on your mind when you wrote that one?
What was my mind when I wrote that was I would say Retired Love is a poem or it's a story with two lovers that couldn't two lovers that couldn't be together because of their culture and some certain things. You know what was my mind then was a literature text we read in SS3, and we're preparing for exams and stuff like that. So I was like, come on, can you tell me that because we're from different tribes and different culture, someone cannot just they can't get married, they can't live together. And that's when I now tagged it a retired love. So it's going to start and from certain time it's just going to stop. It's tired and stuff like that. So yeah, I was really
Mm.
picky on the kind of titles I used, but that was really what it intended to be.
Well, okay, well, apart from cultural differences, what else do you think can make two people not be together, although they love themselves?
It's like if both of them desire two different things, they cannot work in
Mm.
alignment for a particular goal. If the
Mm.
one in the relationship wants different things and the other wants different things in career, in choice of home, choice little minor and major stuff. I think that can also be a that can also make a love retired.
Mm. Mm. Okay, but what kind of home do you want? What kind of home do you want?
What kind of home do I want? Yeah. Um
Yes.
I wouldn't say I want exactly the kind of home I grew up in, but I remember when I was little, not that little, I I even in the poem, the one about my mom, I wrote that I promise I will search for a wife like you, something like that. I can't really remember how I phrased that in the poem, but if the kind of
Mm.
home I want, it's the one that love can be shown from the father to from the mother and just poured around the house, so that minor and big things cannot be hidden away from fear. And what would daddy say? What would mommy say? So like how I grew up and how I always emphasize it when I speak, I want a better kind of experience for the kind of home and the kind of children I want to have, right? And that is how I want my own home to be.
Mm. So there is a tendency that you may not are exactly like the kind of home you grew up in. Is that it? Is that what you're saying now?
I didn't get that question.
So there's a tendency that you may not have exactly the kind of home you grew up in.
Yes, but not exactly, but basic of what I've experienced at home is the same. Want my home to be to my children or my home to be. If I said I want exactly the same thing, that means I'm blocking every chance of improvement from my own side, and I feel that is wrong for me because my parents were there for me to learn better, and even though my dad treated my mom like a queen, it is now my role to learn from my dad to treat my own as more than a queen, something like that. So there's meant to be growth in it, and that's what I want.
Okay. Yeah, let's go down to love to last. And
Okay.
you said, I remember the day we met. You were a light I never knew I needed. Your smile warmed my cold heart. It wasn't long before we both caught feelings. So, what was on your mind when you wrote this love to last?
Okay, for these, I think I wrote this in SS2. This was my second poem. My first was for my mom, and this was my second. And this
Mm.
particular poem was I can say it was when I was in a secondary school relationship drama and stuff like that. You see,
Mm,
so
mm.
it's like that's why I say love to last. It was basically what I wanted, and how it was at that particular time. So I don't know if you're laughing in the background, but but I think that's to answer the question.
Okay. Now, but did your love last? If it was relationship drama, did that love last? Are you still together?
No, we aren't.
So this your that part is separated love. It's just that is separated.
I think if you I think there's a separated love. There was separated lovers there.
Yeah, you see that. Okay, but let's go to but first, what do you think makes love last between two people?
Um, I think what makes love last between two people it's a common goal. It's a it's a common goal, and if both of them desire a singular direction, because I think I heard this from Dr. Miles Monroe or Steve Harvey, if I'm correct, that it is quite impossible for both powers or both people to get it correctly because they have been trained from different backgrounds. So there are going to be
Mhm.
defaults and faults that are going to come in the whole process. So it is all the base of understanding and the place of growth. Oh, he does not like this. It's something that can stop. So it is all the place of sacrificing what needs to be sacrificed and tolerating what needs to be tolerated. I think that can make it last.
Okay, having common goal. The mother's love. When did you write this one?
I wrote this in SS2.
SS2.
Yes, SS2. Yes.
Okay, and the part where you said the part where you said my mother, my helper, my teacher. I live my days in gratitude, striving to repay your love. How about your father?
Funnily how I was in school and I gave this poem to my dad to go and give my mom. And he was laughing like, where's my own? So, so that
Mm,
daddy was a very, very busy person, right? But there was one thing we always loved about it, that when there is time for critical moments and celebrations, he always makes himself present. But all this day to day life, like normal school days and all those things, is that he's traveling from one town to another, one town to another. Funny enough, one of the reasons why I said I was not going to do politics again was because of my dad, right? Because I always saw him traveling, 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 traveling.
mm,
And I was like, no, I don't want to travel like this so that I can't miss critical moments of my own kids, right? So daddy was there, always there and always loved. But that daddy didn't get his own poem that time because daddy was always traveling. Daddy didn't see me when when I was
mm,
bullied and stuff like that. But mommy was always there when I was bullied in the classroom, right? She would storm up school and make a whole big scene. Nobody should touch her child, blah blah blah, things like that. And it was always about mom.
mm, mm. Okay. Okay, well, if you were to write a different poem now, would you write for your father?
Yes, I would have. Funny how I'm currently working on a biography for him. We're planning on publishing it next year or 2028. But I'm currently working on a biography for my
Oh
dad,
wow.
and
Okay. Okay. That's very good. That's very good there. Now let's get to the religious part, which
yes,
is
and
God
I would
is
definitely
love.
have written.
Hmm.
Yes,
God is love. How would you describe God's love towards you? Is it comparable?
comparable. I don't. I feel honestly, I feel I would lack words to describe it. but I would say that God's love taught me it's endless and boundless because it's endless and boundless. Why I said so because of how my whole childhood play was. And I always need to say that there was a poem I wrote in that collection. I wrote that it is he that it's only him that made, I can't remember how I structured it, but a premature baby he made into a king, something like that. So it was all, my life was all about, oh, struggle this, but God's love was always there, opening doors and closing where ought to be closed. And that was just it. So I felt that it is God's love that was so sufficient that gave me the kind of parents I had.
Hmm. Okay. So it looks like like you mentioned, your upbringing influenced your desire to write about love. Some other persons who maybe grew up in a family where there was toxicity everywhere, it was trauma all the way. I doubt if they will be able to put together and understand what love actually really means. But again, like I think I lean towards your perspective as to how that God's love is boundless, and when you are, doesn't matter how far you go, he's able to, he still opens his arms to welcome you back home.
What's this now?
Let's get to strange love. What's up with strange love there? Hello? Let's talk about strange
Yeah.
love.
I can hear you now. Sorry. All right.
Okay, man. Okay. Yes, let's talk about strange love. What was on your mind then?
Strange love was still in that period, and and love was. Can I even remember how strange love all came about? It was a very old poem. I decided to add it to it because it's my first poem collection. I wanted my first works to be inside, but
Mm,
strange love as well was also in that area of love to last.
mm, okay. Okay. But what's it about in terms of what? What is the poem trying to achieve?
Of strange love.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I really appreciate if you could read like the first two lines. If I can,
Okay.
I
So it
can,
says, "Oh, beautiful one, how
I
can
can,
you
I can
describe
recall
my
what strange love was all
admiration
about.
for you in a few words, in fleeting moments? You cracked the walls of my guarded heart. I wonder if I should let you in. Yet, free of a broken heart keeps me away. Will you be the one to mend what is torn? Can you be
Okay.
my chance to love again? You understand now, so tell me. Yes.
Yes. I now remember why I wrote this, and the reason why I called it strange love was because it was because like I said, it was in the same period of love to last, and it's bringing like a one person and two person. The guy has all given up on love. The guy has decided that no, this thing is not for me, and suddenly it becomes the same way he felt previously. He started feeling it again, and he's just asking himself, like, "What's this? Should I let it in, or I should just blank it? And does it really exist, or is just an illusion?" So that was strange love. It was a
Okay.
point of it's a point of letting in or letting out or just letting it go.
Okay. So, are you saying that it looks like the expression of the love that this person is getting looks strange? That is wondering if I should
Yes.
let this person in or not. Okay, I will just pick one more chapter and then we're good to go. Love
All right.
in silence. You
Okay.
remember how this came about?
Love, yeah, love in silence. I do. I
Okay,
do.
so
Like I said, like I said, some of my works, it's when I listen to some music, and I feel this. I was in Abuja this holiday when I wrote this, and this I would love to use the illustration of probably um a guy or a person, for instance, just 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 thrown away by another person, and it just comes once and it creeps in without him knowing, or without him realizing that he's falling for this person. So this part of the silence there, it's not him not realizing that, guy, I'm actually falling for this person. I think I'm actually in love with this person. Something like that. It's just a silent in and permanently stays there or out. Something like that.
hmm, okay. If there's a poem you missed out on adding to the book, what would that poem be? And what's the message you want anybody who reads your book to get?
Okay, the poem I should I say the poem I miss adding. I didn't miss adding any poem to the book. I'm currently even working on releasing another one, but not this year again. Um, I plan that should come the same period I'm releasing my dad's biographies. But the message I will give to anyone who's getting this book is, I usually need to say that I usually need to target as realizing love in every word, in every single word of it, in every single word of it. And it's I always say that just read and let the words do the talking. I think I gave someone the book to read, and I was like, I think out of every other poem I have read, this is quite the one that is very easy to understand. And that was one of the basic thing I was looking at. Because a lot of time when we're reading, I stopped reading William Shakespeare's poem because after the first three lines I'm lost. So I
Mm,
was trying to really make it clear, and at the same time paint that love it's boundless. Love is boundless, right? I made sure the book contained that of parental, that of spouse, that of God, right? Those are like the three basic things of what I made the book all about. So that it can be I made it so that it can be a reference point to every sector, right? Oh, I was talking about mom, God, and to my spouse, right? When I dropped the book on Bookie, I dropped it on my
mhm,
secondary school class group. I dropped in my secondary school class
mm.
group, and I tagged all my male friends, and I was like, when you guys are going to find your wives and your girlfriends, you guys should check my book. Let my lines help you out to catch the girl. So, so, so it's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful collection of poems. One of the things I do understand that people don't really give their time to poems and all the storybooks. They want hard books. But one of the things literature helped me to do in secondary school is to open my reading to every kind of book. And I saw beauty in poetry, and I decided to learn it. And I can ascertain that anyone who reads this book will actually see the beauty I saw back then in secondary school. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. I must say you have written a good book. It's a book
Thank you.
that will consistently remind us about what love is, and I like the fact that the book addressed, kind of touched on many things, touched on love with God, touched on love with a brother, touched on love with somebody you were once with, touched on different parts of love, which is quite important. So, and we have also seen that some of your friends, or we also had people buy the book. I saw people buy the book. I was like, okay, from the moment you drop the book on the Bookie website, if you have not gotten the book, Love Stories by King, I think you want to get the book. It will help you understand love even more. And then you are able to use the lines there so that if you want to speak to your wife, your babe, your woman to be, you are able to find your way around that. Now, we're going to be having something in this is a general announcement for those who are joining us for the very first time. We're doing something in January this year, next year, and it will be that we're doing a podcast We're going to be doing a podcast. It could be once in a quarter, physical recorded podcast. Come the year 2026, it will be happening in January, and we're going to put up a pool. We're putting up a pool very very soon for that particular one. Okay, so we will need people to vote for you to be on that podcast. It's a free podcast, and it's going to hold in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you know, if an author listen to me right now and you want to have a free podcast session, I'm going to be asking you tough questions from your book. Make sure that you apply. Send a message to Temilei. Temilei is the lady John Temilei Elizabeth here. Temilei, say yes again so they can know that you are the one they have to reach out to. Reach out to Temilei, and she will most likely give you details on what we have to do. We have so many books on Booki now, and we can't have all the authors at once, but we're gonna have the authors at different times for this particular podcast in the month of January
Register.
2026. There. Okay. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. Thank you, Mr. Israel. How do you pronounce your
Thank you, sir.
surname?
Adole.
Adole. What does Adole mean?
It means the father of the house.
The father of the house. The father
Yes.
of the house. So the mother of the house is Adile. Adi-
No, the
what?
mother of the
What
house is
else?
Enewa. Thank you.
Anyway. All right then, everyone. Have a fantastic evening. God bless you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, cool.